What's going on, everybody? My name is David. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm actually going to be comparing Podia versus Teachable for online course creation. So let's get to it. Alright, so my YouTube channel and website createpro.com have both just had slow and steady growth. And about a month ago, I sat down and I really just created and hammered out a full 10-hour video course that I'm just basically looking for the right place to host it. Do I want to use Teachable or do I want to use Podia? And I've actually used both for the last week to try them out in detail, in depth. And I really like both. I think those are two industry leaders personally. Like, those are your two best options if you want to create a course and host it somewhere. Now, I personally went with Teachable, and I'm going to share my opinions on why I personally went with Teachable over Podia, but that's not to say that Podia is bad. I think it's a really good option for a lot of people. On the back end, they both operate the exact same way, where at Podia, you create storefronts, Teachable, you create schools. With the school or storefront, you can assign a custom URL. That means you can register a new domain like websitecreatorprocourses.com, or you could just use a subdomain. And then you do that just by going into your domain name register and creating a subdomain. Very simple process. So what most people end up doing is they'll do courses.websitecreatorpro.com or learn or programs, whatever, and use that subdomain. And then every single course you create, it gets put under the school or put under the storefront. Now, they have a lot of differences in terms of their design, which I think is the key difference between the two. Basically, just how they work. Basically, how they look on the front end, how they work on the back end. Those are the primary key differences. So we're going to jump into my laptop. This is going to be kind of a raw section of the video. I'm not going to edit it too much. I'm just going to give you my take on Podia versus Teachable, the pros and cons of each, what I like about each, what I dislike about each, and basically how I came to the conclusion for me personally that Teachable was the better solution for me personally. But that's not to say Podia is not good. Podia is amazing for the right person. Anyways, let's get to it. Welcome to my laptop. Let's begin. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button. So I'm not going to do any fancy editing. Let's just get right to the point about the differences between these two. So this is the pricing page for Teachable, and this is the pricing page for Podia. Now, Teachable starts at $29 a month, and that is a cheaper price than what you can get with Podia. Now, this is an annual plan, and I would assume most people would just pay annually. And with the basic plan, you get everything that you would need to create your own course, to sell it on your own custom domain, etc. Now, it does charge a 5% transaction fee, and that's done to incentivize you to upgrade to the professional plan when it makes sense. Okay, so if you're selling a $100 course and you're paying 5% transaction fee, if you're doing 20 sales, then you're paying basically $100 in transaction fees. So then that makes sense to upgrade to the professional plan. And I think that's a smart business move. Now, Teachable does have a free plan. It really annoys me when I have to listen to other videos where they compare the free plan as if it's a viable option. Like, the free plan, guys, is designed just so you can try out Teachable and see what it's like. You can't set a custom domain name, and you can only have 10 students. So it's not even a viable option. You just can try it out. But I personally like it because I can just try out Teachable on my own pace, and then when I'm ready, I can pay. Whereas with Podia, that's why I'm making this comparison. Podia, on the other hand, gives you a completely free trial, 14-day free trial, full access. There's no limitations. You get full access to the mover plan. At the end of your trial, you have to make a decision to upgrade and whatnot. Now, I think Podia provides more value for your money than Teachable because Podia provides everything that you'd want. Your storefront, courses, downloads, webinars, email marketing. We'll get into that. Messaging, all this stuff. The only thing that you don't get with their plan is basically affiliate marketing and basically off-site buy buttons. So that means, like, if you want to create your own sales page with WordPress and then you want to embed Podia buttons onto your website, if you're going to the custom design route, that's very niche specific, so most people don't really need that. And so that's why I said Podia provides a lot of value, because if you save $78 when paid annually, so that basically means it's like $33 a month or so. So it's a little bit more expensive than Teachable, but there's absolutely no reason to be like Teachable. You're going to probably be ending up paying $100 a month. This $99 plan, that's probably where you're going to be at with Teachable if you have this successful course. Whereas if you have a successful course on Podia, you're only paying $33 because there's no real incentive to upgrade to the Shaker plan unless you really want affiliate marketing. You want to have your affiliates promote your site or promote your product, and you want to have off-site buy buttons. I think those are the and third-party code a little bit too. But in my opinion, most people are going to be quite happy on the mover plan. So that's why I said like Podia provides more value in that regard. Okay, so anyways, let's just take a look at a sales page. So the sales page for Teachable basically looks like this, where you have this bar at the top. You can change the color, you can have your custom logo. This is Smart from Scratch from Pat Flynn of Smart Passive Income. You can actually get it now for free, guys, if you're just watching this video at the time of recording this. Anyway, so I really like the way Teachable has their page laid out, where you have a nice big hero image, big text, you can add a video. It's very effective. And then you just have your standard old sales page. And I think the sales page is a little dated looking, kind of boring. I wish they would up the design just a little bit, but I do like it in that you have a lot of specific control. Like, look at how big the font is here. It's like a little bit bigger. It's a different style font. Same with this, different font here. You have like smaller font here. You can just mix and match fonts very quickly and easily. You can add images and whatnot, and you just create just a nice, decent sales page. Now, when you click the button to buy, which this is what I really like about Teachable, it takes you to a dedicated sales page, or it's dedicated checkout page. I personally really like this because we're trained to associate with buying something with a checkout page. So I like that. We have the order summary, account information, payment. We have like what you can also add this within your Teachable account to your checkout page, like what things are included, and then feedback from students, and this just works really well. It's simple, it's easy to follow. I really like it. Whereas if we we'll go to take a look at Podia. So if I click on a view course that's powered by Podia, Podia doesn't use a checkout page per se. So if I was to click on like buy the course now, what ends up happening is that there's a light box pop up, and I don't like this because this kind of looked like enter your email address. To me, this comes across like it's asking me to subscribe, like an email opt-in form, whereas this comes across like a proper checkout page, like I'm making a serious purchase decision. I don't know. For me, this just doesn't come across. It's beautiful, it's well designed, but it doesn't strike me as professional in the way like I'm buying a product. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe that's just me, but that's just the way I think about this. Okay, and so another little detail that I like with Teachable is that when someone buys something, for example, you can send them to a welcome page, and I love this. Just a little 30-second video like, hey guys, thanks for checking out the course, thanks for your purchase. Check your email and click the button below to continue to the course. I love it. I love details like this. And so then once you're in the course, this is basically what the course from a Teachable course looks like. And I like it. You can have your branding there, course curriculum, instructor. You can take a look at the course curriculum to see which one you want to jump into and read and consume. Now, the actual course content, I don't like. I love that the video is big. I like that this whole thing is responsive and it adjusts as appropriate. But what I don't like is how small this text is. Now, obviously you can set the text to be different sizes by H tags. Like you can make an H1, H2, H3 tag, but the standard body text, you cannot change this. And it's annoying. It's like it's super wide, super small. I don't like that. Whereas Podia is way better. Podia is so much more beautiful. So let's just jump over here. Where is my Podia accounts? Let me just go. Okay, so here we go in the dashboard. Okay, so let me just go to my products. And let me just open let me just go ahead and open this one up. Okay, so let me just go to view, and let's go to view the course page. And I think this looks a lot nicer. So if I just open this up, okay, there we go. Perfect. This looks great. This looks wonderful. Like big header, nice readable text. It's not super wide. The lecture's right at the top there. I just like this. This looks really nice. Like it's just a lot more useful. Again, guys, it's just a test site. So you're like dating. What's this guy going on? Like, guys, I'm just playing around with Podia on both of these. And like this one, this video fits right here. Just the little details about the padding on the left and the right. Like I really appreciate this overall when you compare it to Teachable's layout. Just a lot cleaner. looks a lot better for the end user. And so if I could improve Teachable in one clear way, I would just be like, hey, just do it like this. The course should look like this. This looks great. And I like little details like that. Look at that. I can click that. It goes away. I like the branding at the top there instead of over here where we have the course ID over here. But again, these are just little details. They're not that essential per se, because if someone buys your course, they really want to watch the video. They really want to consume the content. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm not reading this because it's too wide. Nobody thinks like that, but it's just a thing that helped me make a purchase decision between the two. And so what made me decide to go with Teachable personally is because I love this. I love this checkout page, and I personally like the sales page feature a little bit more than Podia. And that's not to say Podia is bad, but it's just it makes it feel like everything's part of the site. It doesn't make it feel like this its own standalone thing, like it's a serious product. I don't know if that does that. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, let's just take a look at the course pages. So basically, when you create a storefront with Podia, and this is what it looks like when you create a storefront with, or a course or a school with Teachable. And so let me just move these two over so I can keep track of everything. All right. And so this is okay. You know, it's not the fanciest looking thing. You know, you can just set your basically title there, and then you have your courses there. Personally, what I would recommend doing is basically like what Pat did, where you just create a dedicated course page, and that's personally what I would do. And so again, that was like another selling point for Teachable. See how Pat has resources, courses, and then he has all his courses listed out here. I like designing. I really understand Themify Ultra. I would just create my own dedicated course page and then link to my Teachable courses from that page. So for me, while Podia is quite impressive with the storefront that you're able to create, basically you can have like a little welcome message about you on the front, and then your social media links, your products here. You know, I wouldn't use it. So I would do the same thing as Pat Flynn. I wouldn't be using this. I wouldn't be promoting this page, and I wouldn't be promoting this page. I would just do it myself and then link directly to my course landing page, which would be this. So hopefully that helps you make a decision. But again, it just depends on you. Like, this looks beautiful. This integrates really well with a lot of websites. For example, like Money Lab looks great. And so like if I navigate to, if we just go to moneylab.co, you know, and it's like, this looks great, and then this is powered by Podia, and it's like the seamless integration is something that's really nice for depending on the way you design your website. And so that's why it just really comes down to a decision. And another thing with Podia is that right here you can basically set an email opt-in form, and so Podia does have email built in a way that Teachable does not. But it's not that functional. Basically, you can only add a form to basically like your storefront page, or you can add an email form to basically your individual product pages, if that makes sense. And then with this, like you could set up an little email funnel. Like, so you can have someone set up here, like you can create in Podia, you can create a coupon code, and then you can list it like I've done here. Get a 10% off purchase coupon code, so someone could sign up. Then you could set it up where they get like 2 weeks worth of emails, etc. You can offer a 10% coupon code, and this can all help you generate more sales. Now, honestly, you should be using something like ConvertKit, Aweber, or MailerLite. Those are my big three that I really like, and manage your email marketing there. But you know, if you just want another way to drive sales and you don't want to get ConvertKit or something like that yet, this is okay, because you can set up just a funnel to help promote your courses when people are not sure. And so that is basically it between the way these two structure. Now let's just take a look at the back end. Okay, so this is basically what Podia looks like on the back end, and this is what Teachable looks like on the back end. Let me just move these two together. So we got Podia here, we got Teachable over here. Now, Teachable is so confusing. You know, and it's true. Like, Podia is way more intuitive, easy to figure out. I really like Podia. I think they've done a great job with the management of their courses, the lecture, how to create specific products, etc. Teachable is just confusing. Now, once you figure out Teachable, then it's like, all right, I get it. But it just takes a long time. So like if I go to like, you know, my test course right here, this is a test course. So like under here are my courses, and now here, it's like I can visit the sales page. Okay, so we can open this up, and I can just take a look at the sales page that like I'm currently crafting, just playing around with. Okay, that's fine. But for example, like how do I edit the page? You know, how do I edit the sales page? I'm like, where do I go? I don't see any button that says edit sales page. I can just visit and like, oh, I have to go to pages. Oh, I didn't know that. And then it's like, I want to edit my course. How do I edit my course? Where do I go? What do I do? And it's like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like, look, I was just spending like looking for it. It's like, oh, I have to click this button right here that's not standing out at all. And then go to edit page. And then when I'm like, how do I add blocks? It's like, here's the course editor. Here's the sales page editor. It's like, okay, learn about customizing your sales page. Like what I want is like, I'm expecting like something to be over here. I can drag and drop. I'm like, where do I go to add stuff? I don't get it this at all. It's so like, oh, I have to navigate here, only here, this little area. Then I can click on it and add a new block. Whereas like my whole point is like Teachable is just, I guess, a little bit clunky for people in a specific way. All right, sorry about that. That video started playing. Anyways, but Podia, ooh, boy, so much better. So for example, if I can just go to add content there, like see how it's a big purple button, it stands out, grabs my attention, makes sense to me, right? And so it's like add files, okay, click on add files, oh, just drag and drop your video there, you're done, okay? And so like if we just go into this one with Podia, basically I uploaded a video, the video is right there, and then I can add text just by adding text right underneath it, done. It's so simple. And so like if I go here, add content, we can go to like add text, and then, you know, text, and then description, boom, save changes. I can't spell, guys. Done. How easy was that? That's so easy. And then that's it. That's all I have to do to manage everything, and I can just make it its own thing. I can like if I can just drag and drop with ease. Teachable, you can do the same thing. It's just the whole experience is just a little bit more clunky. So Podia did way better on the back end in terms of like designing and creating a course. Teachable, it has more of a learning curve. You have more control with Teachable over specific things like being able to drive people to like a welcome page like this, little things like that. But that's the primary difference between the two. Now, one thing to note that I don't like about the sales page with Podia is that this has to be white at top. You have no choice to change the color, and this has to be white at the bottom. And I really hate that. That really like that kind of ruins it for me a little bit. That's what made me not like go to Podia. Like this being stuck white, and then this whole checkout process I don't like either. I don't like light boxes. Even look how long it's taking to load. You know, it's like that took way too long too. Like it's just a little bit slow, and I don't like that. I'd rather like drive people to a specific checkout page. But anyways, in terms of the back end, that's basically it. And so, you know, if we go navigate back to my dashboard, and then I want to go to create, I can just go here, create product, coupon. Podia is way more intuitive. And then if you want to edit your storefront, you just go view store, and then you can just go to edit store, and that is it. And so that's primarily the difference between Teachable and Podia. Now, one thing I like about Teachable too is that you can have multiple schools under one email, and it's easy to manage. Whereas Podia, again, you know, if you want to have multiple websites, well, you have to have multiple emails and sign up Podia with 2 different emails, etc. Whereas Teachable, I really like that. I can just have like a My Teachable. These are the schools, so I have 2 different websites. I can set one website to this, one website to this. Now, you have to pay for both. Like this one is free, this one's free. So if I paid for this, then this would be telling me what plan I'm on, etc. And so just please be aware of that. But I like the usability of Teachable in this regard. But basically, that is a nice broad overview of the main differences between Teachable and Podia. They both have a lot to offer. They're both same in a lot of ways, and they're both different in very critical ways. Podia kicks butt in terms of the design. They really do. Like design and ease of use of creating and managing courses is way more user friendly. You can create a gorgeous storefront like this if that's important to you. For me, this is not important. Whereas like with Teachable, it kind of looks, it's okay. But like I would just create my own custom page anyway to integrate it with my site. But a deal breaker for me is this checkout page too. And I personally prefer this type of sales page with this big hero image and just like minimal branding at the top. This feels like I'm on a product product page. This, whereas like I'm on this, doesn't as much feel like a product page. And so that's basically it. And so one little thing, let me just go ahead and show you. I'll just click on that just to show you basically what a video would look like. So, again, like this has to be stuck being white. This has to be stuck being white down there, but you can add a video to the header right there. I like that this button follows you there. But I also found it frustrating to adjust this button. So this comes with this banner because it's just a product banner that comes with the design. And so like, for example, like I can add a button there, but then it's like when I click the button, the URL, and I set up I have to set the URL. Why does it drag me back to the top? And then like I don't like this. It's like, and so that's what made me go personally go with Teachable. Podia is wonderful. If you're looking for something where, like for example, like you want to incorporate like an little email funnel, you want to drive traffic to this specific page, you like this storefront, and you're going to really take advantage of all the different main features Podia has with like you have digital downloads, having online courses and the storefront and the email marketing. You're going to take advantage of all this stuff, then I would go with Podia. It's also just easier to use. But anyways, that's the primary difference between Teachable and Podia. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Podia versus Teachable, it's really a mixed bag because there's a lot of things about Teachable I like and there's a lot of things about Podia that I like. So I think Podia provides tremendous amount of value long term because there's no real incentive for you to upgrade your plan unless you really want affiliates and you really want to be able to like basically make a custom sales page and embed that sales button. And because if you don't need that, then there's really no reason to upgrade with Podia. Whereas Teachable, because of that 5% transaction fee, that's a smart business move because like once you start having success with Teachable, it just becomes a math problem where like if you have a $100 course and you're making 20 sales a month, well then it makes sense for you to upgrade your plan because you're paying so much in the transaction costs where it just makes sense to upgrade your plan. And so they both have pros and cons. Like overall, I think Podia has a nicer design, but it really annoys me how you have to keep the top and the footer, the header and the footer white. That's so annoying. Like that works for some websites. Like for Website Creator Pro, for example, that works really well. That looks kind of blends all together really nice. But that doesn't work for all websites. And also with like Teachable, it's kind of like frustrating the way the actual course player on the back end for the students is structured because like the text is so wide, the text is so small. You can change it with custom CSS, but that's just annoying. It's like, how come they don't just make it like the way Podia set up where it's like Podia looks beautiful. Podia is beautiful on the front end for the user. It's beautiful for all your students on the back end for them to easily consume content. And that's basically my take on Podia versus Teachable. They're both great, but just wildly different. Anyways, guys, I'm starting to ramble. I'll leave it there. See you next video. My name is David, websitecreatorpro.com. Have a great day, and bye-bye.